Mandalagaba, a blast from the past. Now, if you look down at the bottom right corner, there's a little cat. If you click on that, you can change this from radial symmetry. Now, tessellation allows you to repeat things. Now, you could make a triangle tessellation, rectangle or square, or hexagon. Whichever you choose doesn't really matter, because whatever you draw in one square will be repeated to all the others. You can create a new session here. You can change your value scale here. You can change your hue or color here. You can change the size of your brush. You can make regular lines, straight lines. You could fill in spaces. You could even change the background color if you want. Your ruler. Space it out as much as you want. And I think I'm going to change mine to a hexagon. I just like the shape. It's very pretty. With all that being said, I'm going to pretend like I just got to the Mandalagaba website, and I'm going to show you one more time. Click on New Session. You can change the size. You can also just get rid of these tools if you want to be able to see your space a little bit better. And so I am going to make sure that the tessellation is something that I want. I want to make sure that I'm drawing with the tool that I want, the color that I want, and so on and so forth. So since you are going to create a design that has a pattern of desserts, much like Wayne Thiebaud created patterns of desserts, think about what kind of dessert you want to draw. A donut? A lollipop? A piece of candy? Cupcake? Regular cake? There are so many options. And I'd like you to make it colorful. One of the weird things about all of these different tessellation apps is that when you go to fill in color, you have to fill it as many times as you have spaces, which allows you to fill in with different colors, but it's also a little bit annoying. I think I'm going to do a piece of candy. Can get rid of this in order to see better. And then I use my mouse to draw the piece of candy the way I want it. And if you want to get closer to your project, you can make the screen a little bit bigger, but the problem is that it will then cut off the edge of some of your project, and I just don't want that risk. So now I'm going to go back in here and I'm going to change the color so that I can write on my piece of candy. You certainly do not have to put text in here. It's a little bit hard, and we've been doing a lot of text. So if that's not something that you want to do, that's totally fine. And then I can go back to my tools and grab this fill paint. And I can make my candies different colors. Let me go back to draw, because this does not connect. Oops. Okay, so I'm going to hit the undo button. I'm going to go back and grab my color picker, also called the eyedropper. And I'm going to grab that same color that I had before so that I can actually close this off. And when I fill in my color, it won't go all over the place, I think. Get my fill tool and fill in my candy. This is where you can get a little creative and add some different colors. It's telling me that that is off the edge and I cannot fill it, which is so unfortunate because I forgot to move my tools when I first started. You'll notice that I did not make the cross part of the A for candy, because I just didn't want to have to fill those over and over and over again. Once I have filled in my colors, then I can go back in and redraw that. Just trying to think ahead. Getting some variety up in here. If you do not want to use the fill tool, it actually makes this project go a lot faster. You can just color things and it repeats throughout the entire project. When something repeats, it's called a pattern. The object that repeats is called the motif. In this case, my motif is my piece of candy. Now I'm going to go back in and use my drawing tool. Actually, I'm going to use my dropper tool to figure out what color these letters are. And then I'm going to use my drawing tool to close off the A. And I can also add some details, like maybe some confetti. You can even cross over into the next section, which is pretty cool. Now, that's really all you have to do. As long as you have a repeating pattern of desserts that are designed by you digitally, that is on a computer, then you're good to go. But if you don't like it, if you want to try other different options, if you want to try the square or the triangle instead, I would say make a few. Really get into this, creating the designs that you want. Even though Mandalagaba does not have official layers, you can still make it look like it have layers by drawing over top. Of course, I don't really like the background color now, so I'm gonna pick something else. I kind of like this color. It's very light pink. So then I hit the bucket. So now it's time to save and share. Save and share. You click on this blue hyperlink here and it allows your computer to save it, but don't save it as these numbers because that doesn't make a lot of sense. Remember to use your last name and your first name and whatever you want to call it. I want to call this candy, and save it in a place where you know that you can find it again when you go to upload it to Canvas, the only way to get your grade. I hope you enjoyed making your digital dessert design. Meow? I mean, bye!